A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this second edition of the Together for Education webinar brought to you by Notebook. We had the first edition a couple of days ago, but unfortunately, some of us could not join in because of technical difficulties, which is why we decided to redo the first edition once again, which is what is happening today. We hope that all of you and your loved ones are keeping safe and staying at home. This is the second in a weekly series of webinars for educators, school owners, administrators, and teachers that Notebook is arranging. We thank you for the overwhelming response we have received for this one, and we know we can count on your support in the weeks to come. Every week, we will bring to you eminent panelists discussing problems that you face in your roles as educators. I'm your host for today, Shubhayu Roy. I'm also the co-founder of Notebook. By the end of today's webinar, we hope to leave you with three key takeaways. One, a historical context and current relevance of online digital learning tools. Two, introduce you to the various features of Notebook as a product. And three, tell you how you can best utilize Notebook to engage your students at zero extra cost. We have an exciting session planned for you today. So without much ado, let us proceed. The novel coronavirus or the COVID-19 pandemic, schools in particular are one of the worst affected. To keep people safe, schools have been shut down. However, little has been done to offset the loss of time for teachers, and completing the syllabus is going to be a huge challenge this year. In such a situation, digital and online learning tools come in really handy. The reality, however, is that most of these solutions that are there are expensive, difficult to adapt to, and often require a great deal of technological expertise to navigate. We hope to help you solve some of these problems by the end of today's session. With that as the backdrop, let me introduce to you our first panelist. Some of you may already know him, and he needs little introduction. However, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Philip Burrett. Mr. Burrett retired as the Deputy Headmaster from the Doon School, Dehradun, after 44 years of serving in education across multiple institutions. He served the illustrious Doon School as Housemaster, Head of Department, Dean of Student Welfare, Dean of Activities, Deputy Headmaster, Second Master, and Acting Headmaster with great distinction. He also carried out a visioning exercise for the Doon School in 2011 through an in-depth study of a number of British public schools and various schools in the US. Mr. Burrett qualified as a leadership trainer at Wellington College, UK in the year 2000. Mr. Burrett is also an athlete, an adventurer, and a naturalist. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Philip Burrett. Mr. Burrett, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Subhayu, and a very good evening to all you wonderful folk out there listening to me. I'll start my talk and take you through the history of computerization and digital learning in schools, the way I saw it as a teacher, and I'm sure many teachers of my age would have experienced. So when computers came into my life in the early 80s, the teacher community looked at this askance. They were slightly diffident in accepting computers in the classroom. They thought they were being invaded by the corporate world. And a lot of teachers were a little slow in accepting this. Obviously, the reasons were many. Some of it just, anything new was looked at skeptically. The second was that, teachers were sort of in their comfort zone. They didn't want to be moved out of their time-tested ways of teaching. And most importantly, I think the teachers felt loss of control over their information, because up to the times computers came in, teachers were the sole imparters of knowledge and the givers of information. But now children had access to their own knowledge and learning. So the teacher's importance in the classroom declined. At least they thought it would decline. Also, school administrations had problems with accepting computers in schools. Budgets were the big thing, because computers are expensive, digital packages are expensive, and also an investment once made would have to go a couple of years, because you can't keep changing once you've made a big investment. The second thing is that schools were spoiled for choice. There were too many vendors knocking at the gates, and school administrators were not very certain about which package to go for, which hardware, which software, what to choose. Also, they were worried about the user friendliness of these packages. Who would control it? Who would support the teachers? Were the teachers going to be trained? Who would service these? And as I began with computers in the school, I saw this continuous tussle between students and teachers. Students always pushing for more and more digital learning and new ways to be taught, and teachers always pulling towards time-tested ways that they had been using. And so, by the 90s, we were using 19th century methodology. We teachers who had been studying in school in the 20th century, but we were teaching kids of the 20th century and trying to prepare them for jobs that had not even yet been invented. So gradually, over the next 10 to 15 years, as computers came into our lives, school developers and boards arm-twisted principals who further arm-twisted teachers into the use of technology. And so when they first came into schools, we saw the computerization of the accounts, admissions, in the library assets, in things like correspondence, fees, and things that were more attuned to office and administrative work. Very gradually, they started appearing in the classroom. Teachers, it's not that the teachers were not computer savvy. After all, they had moved to net banking. They were hiring, food and cabs online. They were using various apps, social media apps. They were booking hotels and flights online. It was just that they were a little slow in understanding how to use it effectively in the class. What teachers have really come to realize with the introduction of digital learning is that they cannot be done away with. Digital learning does not replace the teacher, it just augments the teacher. It makes him more effective. A well-planned lesson with the use of digital visual media, podcasts, short clips, it just makes the lesson better. Students are excited about this lesson. It's so digital learning does not replace the teacher. That was one of the biggest fears that teachers had. The second is that we must believe, and I think we have believed, that our students are visual learners and they learn in a different way than we learned when we were in school. The role of the teacher is more now a guide by the side and not a sage on the stage, as people say. Also, with computers coming into the classroom, there were much less that lecture method of teaching on a blackboard using chalk. There were new and more exciting ways that came into classrooms, like collaborative learning, problem solving, better presentation and communication skills, more critical thinking, teamwork, research-based learning, the flipped classroom technique, and a lot of self-directed learning, because we must understand, we must trust that students can manage their learning. We must trust that they know what is best for them and they can create and curate their own knowledge. We have to trust them. And so very gradually, school classroom architecture, classroom furniture began to change, because you can't have the old heavy desks all in line in neat rows. When you have computer education, you need lighter furniture which can be moved, can be placed in different configurations, different groups. Teachers were never going to be redundant, as I said. Also, their role increased to being more than just teachers. They were now friends, philosophers, guides, mentors, coaches, and children in this stressful world with difficulty to get to college, finding out what jobs they had, in fact, relied more upon the modern teacher to supply more than just classroom education. If you look at this recent corona pandemic, It has catalyzed the use of digital technology in a way that nothing in the past has ever done. Millions of students, as I speak, are sitting at home learning online. Their teachers are still at work, creating packages, curating information, identifying links, and sending these students material, also correcting this work and assessing this work. My own granddaughter is enjoying the way she's learning. Um, uh, uh, this work is interesting, it's well planned, and it augments the teacher. Especially the fact that she has a slight attentional problem. I find her sitting glued to the screen in a more attentive manner than she would be if she was in a class of students. What is the world going to look like post the corona pandemic when schools reopen? I don't think it's ever going to be back to normal again. Will schools open and will we return to the status quo pre-pandemic? No. Will schools shut down forever and will we go digital home learning? I doubt it. I think the solution, if I conjecture an answer, it will be that schools will continue to use digital learning far more than they ever did. It will become serious ways of learning. A lot of teachers have spent a lot of time training themselves in the last few months to be effective digital teachers. And like the Khan Academy, if you've heard of Khan Academy, has shown that digital learning and self-learning has a great future and can make teaching and learning very much more fun and refreshing. After all, we have had distance education, we've had the open school system, we've had people learning from home, and it's been successful. So why shouldn't digital computer education work now? I'm sure that nothing is going to be exactly the same after this lockdown is lifted. I think students will want more online learning, so will teachers. So having seen the value and the efficacy of their efforts over the last few weeks. So with that, I will hand this back to you, Shubhayu. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those enlightening words. It is always heartening to see such active adoption of technology by our institutions. And as you rightly pointed out, this global crisis might just prove to be the stimulus for momentous change in our school education system. One small word of note though, I can see a lot of our attendees raising their hands. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions, it will really help us if you could put them into the Q&A section. At the bottom of your screen, you will have an option for a Q&A chat box. If you could just type in your questions, it will really help us moderate the questions more effectively. Moving on, it is now time to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker for the day is Achin Bhattacharya. Achin is the founder and CEO of Notebook. Achin is a chartered accountant by training, and before starting Notebook, he was a director at Deloitte. He has worked in India and abroad in various senior capacities in GE, PwC, KPMG, and Deloitte. Achin is an avid reader and a passionate traveler. He also has a keen interest in economics, history, literature, and philosophy. He is a regular speaker at various forums and chambers of commerce, and also contributes articles to numerous publications regularly. He is also on the board of some of the most renowned corporates and contributes significantly to brand strategies. Achin, over to you.
Thank you, Shubhayu. A very good evening to all of you. I sincerely thank all our distinguished guests for taking their time out to attend this webinar. It's really a pleasure to have you with us today. Now today, see, the entire world is going through the worst humanitarian crisis that we have ever witnessed during our lifetime. And social distancing norms are our only saving grace. Schools are closed, and it may take quite some time before we get back to our good old way of life. Now, at this critical juncture, I feel the role of schools and teachers is even more important, because the challenge in today's age for any student is not lack of information. Rather, on the contrary, it is an overload of the same. There's too much of information floating around. Today, any particular topic, if a student wants to study, if you go to YouTube, 100 videos. Hence, it is the educator who needs to handhold the student and help him navigate this chaos, so as to judiciously chalk out and curate the learning path of an individual student. Now, this is very important, because considering the fact that there is so much of information overload floating around, it is very important that a teacher helps a student navigate the same, curate the same, and judiciously choose what to study. Now, moving on, I understand in today's time, considering how things are, a lot of teachers, a lot of schools are working on digital content, and rightly so. Considering social distancing norms, students are at home, and knowing the kind of effort that our teachers put in, hats off to them. I am sure they are doing everything that they can to ensure that studies are never interrupted. Now at Notebook, we bring to you a best-in-class repository of engaging content, which is in your fingertips, which is seamlessly delivered through cutting-edge technology. Hence, our request is, we would request you to integrate your virtual online teaching efforts with our platform to get optimum benefit from Notebook. So I understand a lot of you are trying to create content, and I'm sure, considering your wealth of experience, you'll do a great job at it. Having said that, our content, which is completely mapped to CBSE syllabus, for each and every subject, each and every topic, we have completely syllabus mapped content. We would request you to explore the same and use it to your full advantage, so that you can use your time more meaningfully for engaging discussions to take things to next level. Now, moving on, before I discuss about Notebook pedagogy, Notebook DNA, what exactly is our USP, I just take a step back to thank all of you for the excellent support that we have received as a brand. We are truly humbled. We started this journey 2 years back. Now today, we have a repository of more than 10,000 videos online in various platforms. We have it apart from our portal, we also have videos in various social platforms, etc. And it has been a tremendous journey. We have more than 2 lakh registered users, which is increasing every day. Now, these registered users, apart from students, we also have a lot of teachers who actively use our platform and also reach us continuously and enrich us further with their feedback, suggestion, etc. We have tied up with more than 500 schools. Now, these schools are our institutional partners. We plan to develop them as centers of excellence in digital learning by working closely with school management. Now, when we have achieved whatever we have achieved has been because of the kind of excellent support that we have got from all of you. Our team, we have a team of more than 250 talented and dedicated professionals. See, any organization is only as good as the people in it, right? Now, many of our team members who are working with us are senior educators like you. So they have years of experience in teaching in schools. We also have senior retired professors from university, colleges, etc., who help us with content creation. Now, not only academicians, we also have people from corporates. So we have senior people who are working with us, who are earlier with media. We have people who are earlier in education cell of World Bank. We have retired, professors, talented homemakers, and we have very, very creative people with us, artists, specially abled people, etc. So Notebook, today, when we get various feedback from people tell us that our videos are very engaging, by far the best in terms of quality. Now, this is only, we have been able to achieve this only because of our team and only because of the kind of continuous feedback that we have been getting from our users. So we request you to reach out to us and give us those feedbacks. Now, moving on, I'll just take a few minutes to tell you about the Notebook DNA. What is Notebook exactly all about? When we started this journey 2 years back, we were very clear about one thing. We never ever wanted to create a Me Too brand. There are already so many platforms edtech platforms, working on CBSE content, various other state board contents, etc. So we're very sure that if we do something, it has to be worth it. So we started exploring and we started thinking that what exactly will create a difference. So we understood, to start with, what is most important is we wanted to ensure that as a brand, we are able to ensure that the student develops love for the subject. We believed in helping the students to develop a love for this subject, for their subject. Learning again is a lifelong journey. It's an immersive process, right? Once a student develops a liking for a particular topic, he or she will naturally take more interest in it and consequentially do well. That's quite natural. At Notebook, we are committed to making education a pleasure, wherein students would love the experience and look forward to it. Again, when we wanted to ensure that students love their subject, students love education has to be seamless. We went about exploring that how could we make a difference? What should be our unique recipe? What should be our secret sauce, which will really set apart Notebook from our peers? So we went about for a year or so, me, Shubhayu, all our senior members, we were speaking to various people around the world. So we embarked on this concept of augmented storytelling, which is completely new in India. Now at Notebook, our content is built around the concept of augmented storytelling, which has been scientifically proven as one of the most effective ways of teaching in order to ensure conceptual clarity and retention. We use a lot of hand-drawn illustration. So many of you, I'm sure, who have looked at our videos know that as opposed to distracting animation, we use a lot of hand-drawn illustrations. We use a lot of soothing background music, which very often is Indian music. The whole objective is to make the whole experience engaging. Now, as a brand, we are very happy to say that this has produced wonderful results. And average time that a student, that a user spends in our site is by far the highest in the industry. So when we see that people are spending so much time, people are actually seeing the videos, and in spite of the fact that attention span of kids normally, especially in lower classes, is not very high, still we see people spending substantial time in our site. Now this has happened because of the fact that the content is engaging enough. Third, moving on, we also wanted to ensure when we are developing Notebook, we are very clear that this is an after-school app. This is an after-school product. Meaning to say, the objective was never ever to replace the teacher. We wanted to support the teacher. We wanted to supplement the teacher. We understand that schools will always be first port of call. Schools will always be temples of learning. And I'm sure teachers are doing a great job. My job takes me to various parts of the country. I interact with so many schools, so many teachers, and I see hats off to the way teachers work. So our objective was to support them. So we wanted to ensure that the videos that we create should be short and crisp. There was no sense in repeating. There was no sense in making videos which are 30 minutes long, because see what happens is Notebook videos, not only children see these videos at home, but also these videos are played out in school. Now in a school, if a teacher is taking a period for a 40-minute, so quite naturally, a Notebook video cannot exceed 6 to 7 minutes because the teacher has a lot of work. So we expect our videos, the way we have designed the whole concept, our videos are short and crisp. We believe in razor sharp editing. That has always been the strength of Notebook. When we start making a video, the way we start is we ask one of our senior teachers to come and teach. So if they take 30 minutes to cover a particular topic, what we do is starting from that 30 minutes, we bring it down to a 6-minute video. We ask the teacher to teach a particular topic. We see how he or she is how he or she is teaching. Then our research team starts working on the core concepts, find out, okay, these are the building blocks, these are the core concepts, and we bring it down to a short power pack 5 to 6 minute module, which covers all the essential parts, all the essential elements. Now we also, when we were working on this, we also understood that there are twin objectives of education. First and foremost, obviously, is knowledge, right? That's the most important thing. And second, in a real world, what we cannot afford to ignore is examinations. So we wanted to balance between knowledge gathering and exam preparation. So that was something that we aspired to do at Notebook, strike a fine balance. So we developed a 2-step approach to the whole thing. We bifurcated the entire schooling curriculum into 2 broad buckets. First was building blocks, classes from class 1 to 8, which are non-board years, wherein the main focus was on getting the basics right, which will help a student throughout his or her life. And second were crossroad years, classes 9 to 12, board years or classes where you step onto a board year, like from 11 you step onto 12, where focus was also on developing an analytical approach towards a subject, which will not only help a student do well in his exams, but also help by developing a strategic approach for later life. Now, how a notebook video is designed, what is our pedagogy? We believe in learning tools. So if you look at how we cover a particular topic, we have 6 learning tools that we use in notebook, especially for senior classes 9 to 12. Now, what are these 6 learning tools? We start with the interest builder. First and foremost, as I told you, what we want to ensure is that a student loves his or her subject, his or her topic. If there's a particular topic that a student is fond of, I'm sure he or she will find a way to master it. So what is most important is develop that keen interest in a topic. So for every topic, we have an interest builder. Either it's a separate video or it's built into the lesson video. Second, naturally, we cover the lesson without making it too long. It's short and crisp. Normal average length of a notebook video is 6 to 7 minutes, not more than that. Third, we also have short recap videos, which are 2 to 3 minutes, which are very useful to revise a particular topic, which are very useful to serve as aid to memory the day before tests, etc. We also have short question answer videos, which again are 3 to 4 minutes, where a teacher, a senior educator, is standing and explaining how to solve critical problems and questions. Apart from that, we also have a repository of detailed notes and question answers. So the whole objective was to ensure that we curate the entire information. The whole objective was to ensure that we prepare notebook in such a way that all relevant information is available in a student's fingertips. That was the objective. At Notebook, all videos are created by teachers. Those videos are instructor led. Very consciously, we stay away from voiceovers, faceless voiceovers. See, we live in a country where we are used to seeing people. We have been taught by fantastic teachers from our childhood. At home, there's a culture of joint family till now. There are so many people who want to help out. Unlike countries like North America, where somebody drives for 200 miles to see somebody, in India, we are used to teachers. And as a country, we take great pride in Guru Shishya Parampara. So what we have ensured is each notebook video is teacher led. So there is a senior educator who is standing and teaching you. That also increases the believability factor. So it helps a particular student from a psychological standpoint. Third, what is also very important is every video that we work on, there's always a scope for improvement. Before a particular video sees light of the day, there's a concept of pilot group testing. So there's a small core group consisting of some selected students, some teachers like you, we have some parents, some school owners. So what we do is whenever we prepare a notebook video, we send it to them for their feedback. We ask them for their feedback, and based on the feedback that we get, which we collate, we decide, is this video good enough to be uploaded in our portal, or do we need to make some changes? And in case there are some good suggestions, in case we feel we need to make changes, we of course make those changes before uploading that particular video. So there's a small pilot group which always does this. In future, we will reach out to many of you to volunteer for this. We look forward to your support on this. Now, in Notebook, we have been working on various concepts. We speak to many senior educators. We keep on studying what's happening around the world, etc. So one very interesting concept that we are working on, and which we have already successfully implemented in State Board. For UP and West Bengal State Board, we have already implemented this. If you see in our portal, you will find content. So what we have done is, we have followed a bilingual approach. Meaning to say, when we are teaching English, we have also used Hindi to explain English, used vernacular to explain English. The whole objective has been to make the content as easy, as palatable to a student as possible. The student comes first, right? Most important is his or her understanding. So the way a parent or an elder sister or a great teacher like you would teach a student, we have ensured that as a brand we come forward we come forward and we wanted to ensure the students actually understand what we are teaching. For CBSE till now we have not done that, but we have been receiving suggestions from many schools, and I would like to know your feedback on the same. I really would like to know what are your thoughts on the same. For CBSE in future, we may ensure that we have bilingual content. Now, as a brand, we have been awarded on multiple forums as the best educational portal, etc. But we honestly believe that we are not perfect. We seek your active participation and feedback to make Notebook better. It is your brand. Feel free to criticize us. It will help us to gain from your experience and create a better tomorrow for our students. We look forward to your suggestions. We look forward to your criticism. But together, we want to build a great brand, which will really help in creating a better tomorrow. I once again thank all of you for giving me a patient hearing. Over to you, Shubhayu.
Thanks, Sachin. I'm sure this would help all the participants understand the various aspects of Notebook and the value it has to offer. While most of you already are aware of this, for the information of the others, Notebook is offering unlimited free access to its content for the entire period of the lockdown. We are committed to helping every school, every student get through this difficult time. And Notebook as a brand was of some of us believing that it was the best way for us to give back to the society. And we stand committed to this value today as we throw our content open to anyone and everyone who chooses to study from it. During this time, we will not be asking for any personal details or trying to sell any premium packs. If it is on the site, it is available to all of you for free. Moving on, as Mr. Burrett pointed out, technology has become an integral part of our lives. Be it ordering food, hailing a cab, booking movie tickets or a flight, or investing our money. We use technology every day. There are two aspects that determine our adoption of any technology: its usefulness and its ease of use. For technology to be effective, it has to be easy to use for everyone. At Notebook, it has been our endeavor to make the product as easy to use as possible. I will now invite Abhishek Datta, co-founder of Notebook, to tell you about Notebook's ease of use. Abhishek was a vice president at Genpact and lived in the US for many years before returning to India to start Notebook with us. Abhishek, over to you.
Thanks, Shubhayu. Thanks for your kind words. Like Mr. Burrett mentioned, and Achin, and of course, Shubhayu kind of touched upon it as well. So, technology has evolved. It has integrated very, very well and has become an important part of how we are delivering education now. And I don't want to spend my time to go into the details or the advantages of technology, but what I wanted to share with you is our thought process and our principle of how we have selected our technology and how we have designed the website of Notebook so that we can all get the background of it. So when we were designing the platform, there were two main guiding principles. One was accessibility. The second was the ease of use. From an accessibility standpoint, when we were, making sure, the students access it, there were one of the guiding principles that we ensured that the students should not have any additional cost on investment of hardware. So what we did for that, we partnered with Google to host our platform. And what does that mean? So Google hosts, and we were using the same platform as YouTube. The platform which Google hosts YouTube, we are using the same platform, which means that if you can access and play YouTube, you will be able to use Notebook. So it is that simple. Notebook can be used through mobile phones. It can be used through desktop computers, laptop, tablets, smart TVs, anything which can connect to the internet. So we try to keep it as simple as that. Now, the second thing that we ensured, when we were designing the website was the ease of use and the user experience. And we tried to ensure that, the minimum number of clicks or navigation was required to be done for somebody to get into the desired topic of what they want to look for and search for. So if you go to our website, there is a login, symbol for login, which you can use whether you access through your app or through the computer. There will be a login page where if you have signed up with your mobile number, you just enter your mobile number. You get it will generate an OTP. You enter the OTP. You can log in. For schools that we've already tied up with, you will already have user ID and passwords which you can access. It will directly take you to the class. You can go and navigate through the subjects that you would want to choose. And like Shubha, you mentioned, the platform is free for everyone at this point of time. So when you study at home with a password of 1234 for you to get in. Once you are in, for the some of the pages where it has common subjects, all you have to do is select your class. The class will also have a drop down for your subjects. You choose the topic. You get into the topic. There is a search button which you can use. The videos are available. Below the videos, your recap Q&A videos are available. On the side of the videos, your notes and Q&A in PDF are available. So it's very easy to navigate. We've ensured that that's one of the key driving principles that we leverage when we were designing it. What we've also done is there is a feedback mail, feedback@notebook.school, which is available on the website. Please write to us if you see if you have any struggle, if there are any suggestions which we can use. We are always looking to improve our opportunity to improve. Shubhayu, thanks. And if there's an opportunity, if you could give a quick demonstration of the site, that would be very good, if it's possible at this point of time. Back to you, Shubhayu.
Thanks, Abhishek. So ladies and gentlemen, what we would do is we'll quickly take you through a short demo of how best to use this site. If you look at your screens right now, what you're looking at is the desktop or laptop view of the website. Once you log into notebook.school, this is what you'll be looking at. On the top right here is a login button. If you click on that login button, it opens the login page. On the login page, use study at home as the username, all caps, no spaces, and 1234 as the password. And if you click on login, it will take you into the portal. Once you're into the portal, there's an option on top here called My Subject. Under this, you will see your board, which is CBSE. You select your class as per your requirement, select the subject that you want, and click on that. Within a few seconds, you'll be guided to all the topics of that particular subject in that particular class. These are mapped according to the NCERT CBSE curriculum. You can choose the topic that you want, click on that blue arrow. That will take you into the topic page, and that will start playing the video.
The revolution has always been in the hands of the young. The young always inherit the revolution. Huey Newton. No real social change has ever been brought about without a revolution. Revolution is but thought carried into action. Emma Goldman. When dictatorship is a fact, revolution becomes a right.
As you can see, this is as easy as YouTube or any other video platform that you use on a regular basis. Does not take rocket science to navigate. On the right here are the notes and the question answers. If you click on these, it will open up the question answer sets, which have the textbook questions as well as questions from multiple other sources, along with their suggested answers.
You're also pushing back a little bit against authority figures, rebelling against.
On the top here is the link to this particular session. What you can also do with your students is if you copy and paste this link onto a WhatsApp, it will allow the students to also watch the videos, and then homework or question answers can be set from the same. In case you're using a mobile phone, the view would look something like this. This on the top left is the menu icon,
In today's video
and it will allow you to log in the same way. I hope this demonstration helps. In case you have any queries at any given point in time, please feel free to use the feedback option or call us on our board line number, and we will have somebody around the clock ready to help you. I hope this gives you a better idea on how to use Notebook. And with that, we have come to the question answer session for this webinar. Many of you had pre-registered your queries at the time of registration, and more questions I can see have come in during the course of this session. Unfortunately, due to the paucity of time, we will be able to address only some of these questions, and we will try to cover the themes that have had multiple schools asking about them. Let me just look through the questions for a second, and yeah. I think the first question is the one that comes from one of our school principals in Hyderabad. This question asks, do you think that even after the pandemic will be over, digital education will still be equally important? I would request Mr. Bharat to take that question, sir, if you are available.
Yes, thanks, Shubhayu. This is the question that I've been asking myself these days. I can't be sure that my answer is dead on, but I will make a conjecture. So what I thought was that some schools, especially the village schools and schools up in the hills where there is no internet connection, these schools haven't changed at all under the pandemic lockdown, and they will return to the status quo and function as they were always functioning. There are also schools that are, the international schools, expensive residential schools, who've been using internet and digital learning, quite regularly in their day-to-day practice. And all that can happen there, it'll get better, and they'll go back to what they were doing. But it is a number of schools that that have actually asked their teachers to get online and produce online lessons that are going to benefit the most. These are the schools that are smaller and have really taken this lockdown as a period to push forward that learning, so that when the lockdown is lifted, their students haven't suffered too much. A lot of schools fall into this category. For these schools, they are seeing the benefits of digital learning and will be likely to maintain the momentum that has been gained now. I think that some other changes would be like the open school system. I think that some schools might even think of a 3-day week where they come to school to socialize and to play their games, and then the other 3 days will be digital learning because they've seen how successful it is. And it's almost like to draw an analogy from the gyms. People who were using gyms, which have now been shut down, are keeping fit at home. Now, when the gyms reopen, are these people going to rush to the gyms? I think they're going to maybe, but they'll also understand the value of what they were doing without the gyms being closed. I hope, Shubhayu, that I have answered that.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your answer. I hope that answers the question for the principal from Hyderabad as well. The next question is one that came in during this session. Mr. Harinder Singh Juneja asks, I would like to know if there are any evaluation or assessment modules and how do they work? Achin, could you take this one?
Yeah, of course, Shubhayu. Thanks. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Juneja. This is a very relevant question, actually. Now, the way things are now, sir, at Notebook, we have a huge repository of question bank. Like we have Q&A video. Apart from that, we have a huge repository in the form of question and answers in text form, which covers not only past board questions, but also textbook questions and questions from every other reliable source. So what we also do is, since we work with so many senior teachers, we always seek their help in order to preempt the queries, in order to ensure that I'll not say 100%, but we are very confident that we have been able to cover almost all the queries, most of the queries. Now, having said that, as far as the interactive part goes, we are working on it. And we are working on it since past 1 year. What we aspire to do is, we aspire to create a platform which will be completely interactive, like meaning to say a student goes in and takes a particular test, either for a chapter topic or for a complete paper or for a section. For example, somebody wants to take a test for English poetry, somebody for the language part, etc. Now, once a student takes a test, we want the system to be able to help the student in charting out a customized learning path for the student, like similar to what a teacher does, based on a student's performance and based on a student's individual learning curve, and how that learning curve is mapped vis-a-vis peer group learning curve, like meaning to say how his or her peers are performing, and vis-a-vis that how a student is performing. The system will suggest a customized learning path. In order to do this, what we need a lot of behavioral data that we are trying to map right now. On a given day, we get 25 to 30,000 students who are every day coming to Notebook and visiting our site. On a no-name basis, we look at their behavioral trend, we look at which particular topics they are investing more time in, etc. How many Q&A files they are trying to access in a particular day. Based on that, this particular interactive platform that we are working on, we expect to make it live around same time next year. And trust me, once it goes live, it will be the best in its class. Not only will it be interactive, but it will go a step further and also suggest a customized learning path for each and every student based on his or her performance. I hope that answers your question. Over to you, Shubhayu.
Thanks, Achin. Mr. Juneja, I hope that helps with the answer. The next question comes from Patna. It says, webinar is an excellent initiative. Can we expect you to help us with teachers training, and can some of these be conducted over webinars? I would request Vivek to take this question. Vivek is our AVP Institutional Partnerships. Vivek, if you're there.
Yes, very much. Thank you, Shubhayu. So, hello. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, Vivek, go on.
Yes. So, before I answer this question, I had few calls from principals and directors of few schools. So, I'll just add on few more things to this question and answer it. So, in fact, somebody asked me that how this digital learning will actually enhance learning for a child. So, here I would like to say that all of us were children at one point of time. And if we just go look back and connect to those days, we remember that our attention span was only 3 to 5 minutes. And we would get distracted after every 3 to 5 minutes, right? So considering that, our company has also made videos that are short in span. So the most important thing for a child is to actually, once one is attention, if a child is attentive, the learning is much enhanced and at a higher level. So as during the presentation, Shubhayu had shown you a small video of the French Revolution. So a child, when he's learning this French Revolution through a teacher's mouth in class, it cannot be repeated time and again. It just goes like a story and it ends. Here what can happen is, so repetition actually helps a child learn better. So here what will happen is a child can actually click again on the same video and watch the same video 2 to 3 times. So that will enhance, that will help the child learn the story and the entire digital content better. Right? And even the research, the educational research says that the child remembers 10% through reading, 30% through listening, and 50 to 60% through audiovisual aid, where we exactly are standing and working with children and schools. This is the answer to my first part of that particular question. And second would be, yes, of course, can we have webinar for teaching aid? Of course we can. So we can have webinar for teaching, as well as there'll be enough hand-holding and support for the students at all times. So beyond doubt, the entire support system is there. So the webinar and everything can be arranged. The school has to get in touch with us and we'll positively arrange that. I think that answers the question. Shubhayu, back to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Vivek. Thanks a lot. So yes, as Vivek said, teachers training can definitely be conducted over webinars. We do hope that this current coronavirus lockdown gets over soon. However, technology has come as a boon. It does allow us to use technology in very many ways to overcome these challenges. Another question comes in from Agra, which asks, we have noticed videos getting replaced in the last few weeks. See, this is how keenly some of the teachers are observing the site. This is so encouraging for us. The question says, we have noticed videos getting replaced in the last few weeks. Why and how frequently do you update your content? Achin, would you take this on behalf of Notebook?
Sure, Shubhayu. So, as far as content updation is concerned, it's a regular process. So there are two aspects to it. One is uploading further content. Like as we are discussing, what happens is on any given day, we are continuously uploading new content, new topics. At times we are adding interest builders, etc. because we keep on assessing the data. Say for example, if we see a particular topic, we feel that the student needs to be more engaged, we keep on adding. And also based on suggestion feedback that we get from all of you. Second, with regard to replacing a particular video, yes, we do that on a regular basis. You're completely correct. At times we reshoot the videos, at times we add more visuals. Now, a lot of these replacements happen in order to ensure that we increase the engagement factor, and based on suggestion and feedback. I would also encourage each one of you that in case you have any feedback with regard to our content, please do reach out to us at our mail ID feedback@notebook.school. Even feedback with regard to this particular webinar, feedback with regard to content that you assess, we need your feedback. It really helps us to take things to next level. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Shubhayu.
Thanks, Achin. I think we have time for one last one quickly. This question asks, how should we integrate school digital education initiatives with Notebook? This comes from Pune. I'll take this one. As I showed you, ma'am, the site or the app, whatever you're using, is completely shareable. So every time you go into a topic, there are these links that come on top for a given topic. What we have seen some of the schools do, which has been very heartening, is they have copied that link onto a WhatsApp message, sent it out to the entire group of students, and all these students have been asked to write their own summary of that topic in 250 to 300 words. And then the students also submit their answers through WhatsApp, which means there is no external third-party platform. There is no need of additional infrastructure. It's the existing mobile phones and your laptop that you can use. And it seamlessly transfers information around. And it tests the child's grasp of that topic so beautifully. And it opens up the chance to look at a topic more subjectively than the usual objective method that we see in short answer assessments. I hope that helps your question. If you need any further assistance, or if you can be of any help in implementing Notebook for your school, please do let us know, and we will be more than happy to help. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the questions that we have time for today. And that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you all for your patience and support, and for being with us for this edition of the Together for Education webinar. Let me remind you all that this will happen every week at a stipulated time, and we will inform you of every upcoming topic and theme. If you have suggestions for topics that you would like to see covered, please do let us know. I would now like to call upon Achin to deliver the vote of thanks. Achin, over to you.
Sure. Now, before thanking all of you, I'll just take a minute. I see two very interesting questions coming in. One from Ms. Achal Verma, how to make the class more interactive. So I guess that is very interesting and very thought-provoking question. So in order to make the class more interesting, the way Notebook videos are designed, ma'am, is that when you come to a class, you start a particular topic by introducing that particular topic, then play a Notebook video for 5 to 6 minutes, then carry forward the class. At the end of the class or next day when you come in, you can start with a recap video. So the way the entire module has been designed is to help and assist you. I also see another very interesting question from Mrs. Pooja Maria. I would like to ask on behalf of my school that how will Notebook app empower students to control their own learning? So students will have virtually, they will have the entire wealth of information in their fingertips. Each and every topic mapped to syllabus, customized videos, lesson videos, recap videos, question answer videos, everything. So if a particular topic is being taught in the month of June, and if exam happens next year in Feb, any point of time during the year, student can just spend 10 minutes and revise and refresh that particular topic. So that has been the objective in order to ensure that a student is in control. But we firmly believe that guidance from teachers like you is very, very important in order to ensure that a student is able to get optimum benefit from notebook. With regard to Mrs. Isha Segal's question, sir, I would like to know, in notebook, no subject of computer is available for class 11 and 12. Yes, ma'am, we are continuously updating content. We are continuously uploading new subjects. In class 11 and 12 also, if you see very soon, in next few months, you are going to see new subjects will come in. That will be a continuous process. We are committed to it. We need your full support with regard to suggestions in order to ensure that notebook becomes best in class. With this, I would like to thank all of you for your time. It has been really great having all of you here. I would also like to wish all of you and tell you, stay home, stay safe. Next week, same time, like next Monday in the morning, we're going to have our next webinar with a different topic. Thank you. Goodbye.